Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Outprize Millet coming at you with yet another Division build video. Today we are going to be going over my 1.6 healer build. And this is where it comes down to. I've been hunting for quite a few of these items since Tuesday when the DLC dropped, and have these filler pieces until these become better. Right now I'm running a Liberator because the Liberator is just like a really good weapon M4 variant. There's no reason to run a Police M4 variant when you can have the Liberator having two buffs, unless you're doing a high-end build, but I'll talk about that later. This Liberator was sold by the vendor the week when it came, as soon as it came out. Has 23% enemy armor damage, pretty high. 14.5k damage per bullet, which is alright. About 900 RPM and a 63 mag. Currently it has sustained, which I would like to be something different. Competent, which is really nice, and deadly, which is I can live with. And the Free Republic gear set while using the Centurion as my sidearm. And these are the weapon mods if you are interested in exactly what it is are on the Liberator. And I am running a covert SRS that was sold the week before 1.6 reset. And this is a SRS that Skill Up mentioned in his video to get, and I picked it up for my this healer build exactly. Has 82.3k damage, 156 headshot damage, and I prefer the custom M44s because that's usually what I've been running ever since the old explosive round days. Oh man, bringing back memories. Anyway, this covert SRS has talented. I love how they switched talented from the firearms or the stamina heavy talent that it used to be to the electronics talent that it should have been from the start. Like, it didn't make any sense for it to need high amounts of firearms and stamina when it will increase your skill power. So the way it works is whenever I kill a target with my SRS, my skill power will increase 15% for another 20 seconds. It doesn't stack. Killing a target refreshes the timer. And I am obviously easily hitting that electronics mark. And the firearms, we'll talk about that later. It has competent, as I said before, just like on the Liberator, and prepared. Damage increased by 15% more than 30 meters from the target. Obviously very great for snipers. And these are the mods I have on my SRS. So now we're gonna just glance over my pistol for anybody interested. I have expert and talented on it. I might change talented. I'm not really sure yet. Maybe harmful, maybe some other damage dealing talent. I'm not really sure yet. Put in the comment section below what you guys think. And there's that. Alright, now we get to the bulk of why this build works and what I need it to do and what it does. So currently I'm running a Vigorous chest piece. Vigorous has a weird story behind it. It used to be that healing a teammate and yourself will grant an overheal, so you could have used a booster shot, you could have used defibrillator, and it would have worked for you and your teammates. Now it works as a grants overheal to all healing skills, such for you alone. I believe they changed this in 1.4 or 1.5. I do not remember exactly. I believe it's 1.4. They changed it to either the tank chest piece, or, since tanks are currently dead, the electronics chest piece to wear. So I can get a lot more survivability than the 303k toughness that you see on paper. Right now, it is all of my gear is rolled into electronics. Right now, this vigorous chest has 7% skill haste, which I believe can be 9. Health, pretty good sized health, and ammo. I'd like that to be burn and shock because with the increase with how they changed status effects and how much turrets have been used in Last Stand so far, it gets a little crazy sometimes. For mods, I'm working on it. Right now, I have 2 electronics mods, and these two have pretty decent sized electronics rolls. That 247 can be a lot higher, but the health is good on it, and it's a pretty high tier on the other one as well. So I'm keeping this until obviously I can get more, but what I need is electronics skill haste mods. That is what I'm looking for. Will greatly increase what I am doing that much more, and we'll get more into that later. For my backpack, I'm running an inventive backpack. Increase skill power by 15% while at full health. Now, this procs with vigorous, which is why I picked it up for the extra 15% free skill power, which works a lot when you already have a ton of skill power. As you can see on screen, I have 437k skill power right now. That's greatly because of this and something else that we'll be getting to later into the video. For my mask, it has 10k skill power as the major. It's just like in 1.3 when you can have a ton of skill power with no trade-offs. I've done that here as well. I have another 10k skill power on my mask, not counting all the electronics I have into this build. Damage show elites, I don't know. I don't really PvE a lot. I really enjoy PvP in this game. When you're watching a video, it is most likely a build video for PvP. Like, it's, easy to say. What Tacticians does is they changed it a lot. I ran Tacticians in all throughout 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and it's gone through a lot of changes, good and bad. The 2-set bonus is 15% skill haste. That's a big part of where my skill haste comes from, the bit I have. The 3-piece and the 4-piece bonuses add up to 40% more skill power, which again procs higher with how much base electronics you already have. And for the mods, it is a high electronics roll and a pretty high skill power roll. Again, I would like that to be skill haste, but even this mask, it has low armor. The thousands is what I'd be looking for with these perks, obviously. As for my gloves, these are the vendor gloves. I believe it is the Phoenix credit guy that sold these to me, and they are a filler piece until I get better ones. I have to use these to be able to run inventive, vigorous, and the 4-piece tacticians. It sucks, but I'm working on it here. It has 1160 electronics. That is very, very low, of a max of 1272. I'm missing out on a lot of electronics because of where this item is right now. It had assault rifle damage on it, which I just kept for the Liberator, because why not? Critical hit damage works on both SMGs and ARs, and I had to roll skill haste on it. 8% out of 9%. I'm trying to get that 9, but I'm not really trying to put too much money into these gloves because these are a filler piece until I get better ones. They could be a lot better than what. See, these gloves right here, these Savage gloves and my Banshee build is 1,001 armor. That's where I would like this. I'm missing out on a lot of armor here, about 120. And that's just an armor. And yeah, for my knees, my good friend Forgotten King, if you do not know who that is, go sub and follow, do everything for him. I'll leave the links below. But we were doing a boss run, open world boss run, and I've been complaining about how bad I need these Tactician's Authority knee pads for quite a while. I had everything else up until about Thursday, Friday-ish, and last night, no, it would have been Thursday, because, yeah, today's Saturday. Last night, he got these from an open world boss run and was able to share them. Another good thing about the patch, you can basically share anything, which I really like, because I believe he got these from the boss. No, never mind. Anyway, it has base electronics of a pretty good roll. We're missing about 31 there, but, you know, I can live with that. It's not the 1160 on my gloves. The armor could use about another 100 or so there, but again, these are filler pieces until I get the mid-max knees, gloves, mask that I am looking for that I'll get eventually. I had to roll a higher health on it. I think it came with like 14k, 15k. I rolled it for 16,651 health, which is a pretty high roll. It came with the minor attributes of blind death resist, damage to elites, and shock resist. I would love for the first two to be changed. I would like shock, burn, and then something else that's not damage to elites. I don't PvE a lot, but when I do, you know, my little bit of firearms, I can feel like I can at least do damage. The mods this is my one firearms mod. You need a firearms mod to unlock the 3k requirement for the talent, such as talented, such as competent. You cannot have the base 2800 if you don't spec anything into firearms, strictly from your holster. And the performance mod is really big here. First aid ally heal. What I'm doing with this build is I am building around my first aid defibrillator mod. Aside from previously in 1.5, the support station. And we'll talk about that later with how the game's meta has been shifting. So that 5.5% does a lot with the base electronics that I have. I believe it's a max of 6, so it can use some work, and I think I have others that need an improvement there too. My holster is pretty good. It has really good stats across the board and came with skill haste. If it didn't come with skill haste, I'd have to keep the relatively lower electronics roll that it came with and have to roll skill haste onto it. I have 1271 electronics on it. I don't know how much money I put into these, but not a lot. So, you know, obviously I put more money into the electronics and the stamina because of what I'm doing with this build. And this also has a 5% first aid ally heal, max of 6. I've been looking for a better one here. So that is essentially the build. Now you can see that I have 437k skill power here. That's a lot. That is counting inventive of 15 extra percent and the 10k from my mask. With the perk, the 4-piece perk of Tactician's Authority, you can get up to 40% more, 30% more skill power for every bullet your group hits. The way it used to work is every 60k damage, you get 1% up to like 100%, so people were going crazy with sticky bombs and everything. But so they've had to nerf it quite a bit and tune it down to what it is now. 60k damage is not a lot. That's like half of a sniper shot basically on a firearms build. So the way it works now is you have to hit a certain number of bullets to hit the max 30% bonus. And the bonus is consumed on the first skill that you use. And obviously I went to the firing range earlier, and right below my grenades you can see the number 30 and the green little box right there. Those are the 30 stacks. So that's what this is, and that's what it does. Now for my abilities, this is exactly what I was talking about, the defibrillator. My ally heal is 485,000, almost 486k. That is a lot of heal. In 1.5, this would be past the diminishing return because no one ever had more than 300k health. I'm just throwing a number out there, it could be wrong. The way that they changed defibrillator, however, is it will heal you over time. From what I understand, it heals you for a burst heal of half of the ally heal and self heal first. When before it would heal you for the whole thing in one burst. Now it heals you for half of that, which half of this would be 242k, 850 and a half, not important, HP. That's quite a bit. And the rest of it is healed over time over 10 seconds, which I figured out to be close to 25k HP per second. That's over the 10-second period. That's quite a lot of healing, which builds sustain and gives you a really nice burst heal. My teammates go from almost dead to near full health. They get to about the middle of the first armor bar, and then, they're trading with other players as they continue to heal for the 25k per second for 10 seconds. Now, I still use the immunizer. The immunizer is still very, very strong. The support station is still very useful. I'm just not putting all of my eggs into one basket, as Marco Style says. With the way that the meta's been shifting, it's when you play better opponents, people will focus the support station because they know how powerful it can be with the Reclaimer build and even as its base. Because it removes status effects, so grenades, useless. All grenades, useless. Predator's Mark. As bad as Predator's Mark is currently, it removes the bleed regardless. So people will shoot this immunizer down very quickly when they can, and there goes your Reclaimer set. You have no utility on top of the support station. That's why I switched. I still use the support station to grant the overheal, grant the status effects. Quick cleanse. It has a 12-second cooldown. On top, once you blow it up, it lasts for quite a while, over a minute. Healing rate, 15k per second. So it still does a lot of what I need it to do, even with the base range of only 7.5 meters. And recovery link, obviously. My cooldown on recovery link is very, very short because of my very, very high skill power. Rather I want to see this changed or not, I don't know. It's been talked about in a lot of other games. It doesn't happen this way. Your cooldowns usually stay consistent. Just the power of your abilities greatly change depending on what you spec into, like this game is. And that is the 1.6 healer build. It is not finished. I still have a lot to do. I'm missing a little bit of armor in my chest. It's pretty good. The backpack is pretty good, I think. I'm pretty sure. The gloves need a lot of work. Mask can use quite a bit. And these knee pads that were gifted to me can use some work. Now on my character list, you can obviously see by my gear to the right of my gear score icon, I'm putting all of my stuff into electronics. My weapon damage is pretty bad, you know. But this is the part that really matters. The 437k skill power, 39% skill haste. This can be increased up to 50% with mods and that sort. So that is what I plan on getting to here in the near future. For survivability, I have 303k toughness. Missing quite a bit there. I've only 205k max health, yet with vigorous and all that, I really have about 270, but regardless, my armor is pretty low, 32%. I'd like to see that into the 33s, 34% with the same, stats, just different perks and all that stuff. No bleed resist, not a problem anymore. Bleed is really bad. The status effect doesn't really do anything anymore. Blind def resist, that needs to be changed. That can be 0. Not many people throw flashbangs. This is the one that really needs to increase by a lot. Burn resistance. With people bringing in all their fire turrets, all the Firecrest people keep on coming back. And disorient, it's fine where it is. Disrupt, fine where it is. Shock resist, I would like shock to be higher. I don't know how much higher. 28% is a pretty good number for what I'm doing. Now, for my talents, wrong one. For my talents, I am running Adrenaline. I really like this perk. I can use my medkit whenever I want, heal a status effect, and heal for 10 seconds. I really like this new perk here. Triage. Everyone knows what triage is. If you do not, welcome to the game. But whenever you heal an ally, your skill cooldown's reduced by another 15%. Combat Medic. I really like this perk. I used to use critical save for the low health to increase damage resistance, but I'm not using a medkit in low health anymore. Because with Adrenaline, it doesn't give you enough heal to survive very well with my health. So I switched it to Combat Medic, where if I use a medkit near a teammate, it will heal them as well. And I'm not sure if it procs with Adrenaline. I'll get more into that. I'll do some testing. And for my other perk, Death by Proxy, with all the people, spamming their Seeker Mines, spamming their shock turrets, spamming their fire turrets, everything else, this increases my skill power by another 20% for 30 seconds. That's a long time where you have another 20% raw increase of skill power. And that is, the entirety of my 1.6 healer division build. I may go into my Banshee build. Well, I'll think about it here. And I want to do a high-end build. That would be my next conquest to get over. And that is my 1.6 build. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, sub, comment, do all that fun YouTube stuff, check out my friend Forgotten King and Marco Style. I'm not, friends with Marco, but anyway. That's the build. I thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.